Thinking about moving to Canada in 2025? Well, it's a dream for many, but is it really worth it? In this video, I will be diving deep into the real picture of moving to Canada. I'll discuss the current challenges that the immigrants face, why some choose to leave, and whether it's the right decision for you. So if you're on the fence about packing your bags and starting fresh in Canada, then keep watching. This is going to be a complete honest guide. Alright, let's start with some real talk. Canada has always been seen as a land of opportunity, a country that welcomes immigrants with open arms, offers a high quality of life, and promises a better future. But is it really same in 2025? Many things have changed, and it's crucial to know what you are walking into before making such a big move. The competition for the job is tougher now, and settling in is not as straightforward as it used to be once. Understanding these realities before taking the leap can save you from the major disappointments. To help you make an informed decision, I will cover the challenges faced by the new immigrants who should consider moving, what to expect, the pros and cons of Canadian lifestyle, and much more. I'm not sugarcoating anything, so let's check the reality. Well, first thing first, let's talk about the challenges. Moving to Canada comes with its share of struggles. One of the biggest hurdles is to find a good job. Many immigrants, even highly educated professionals, face difficulties in securing employment in their field. This often means that starting at a lower level or even taking a minimum wage job just to get by. Suppose you are a manager or senior manager in your home country, but in Canada, you may have to start your career at a lower level. Minimum wages in Canada can vary by province, but it generally ranges from $15 to $17 per hour. While this might sound decent when you do the currency conversion, but keep in mind that the cost of living has been rising, especially in big cities like Toronto and Vancouver, or even in Ottawa and Calgary too. High rents, groceries, and daily expenses make it difficult to save or live comfortably on minimum wage, especially if you have a family. It can feel like a never-ending cycle of making ends meet without making any real progress in financial ways. And it's not just about full-time work. Many new immigrants also have to rely on the part-time jobs too to make their ends meet. Imagine working in multiple shifts while trying to establish yourself in a new country. It's tough, and many people struggle to find balance between their work and personal life during their initial days. The emotional toll of constant job hunting and adjusting to a new environment can also affect your mental well-being. Let's talk about students. Canada is a popular destination for international students, but student life is not as glamorous as it might seem from outside. Tuition fees are high for international students, and although the part-time work is allowed, but it rarely enough to cover all the expenses. Many students find themselves juggling studies and work, often struggling to pay rent, bills, and their even semester fees. Moreover, once they graduate, finding a job that matches their education can be challenging. Despite having a Canadian education, many graduates face competition and struggles due to lack of experience or networking connections. This means that they often start with entry-level positions that may not justify the amount they spend on their education. Additionally, the stress of finding a job within a limited time frame to maintain their visa status adds an extra pressure. Students need to be ready for long hours of balancing lectures, assignments, and work shifts. There is also the struggle of cultural differences and adapting to a new educational system, which can be overwhelming. Living in shared accommodation or basements apartment is often the reality for many students, which comes with its own set of challenges. Now let's address something important. Why do some people leave Canada after just a few years? According to the CIC News, more than 15% of the immigrants leave Canada within their first 20 years and around 5% leave within their first 5 years. Why? Well, some realize that their expectations did not match the reality. The high cost of living, struggles in finding employment, long and harsh winters, and feeling of isolation can lead many to reconsider their decision. High taxes are also another major factor. While Canada offers many benefits such as healthcare, education, and social security, it comes at the cost of high taxes. This can be a shock for newcomers, especially when they see a significant chunk of their income going towards the taxes without the expected returns in services. People may expect a certain lifestyle when moving here, only to find that much of their hard-earned money is eaten up by taxes and living costs. Another reason is the challenges of not being able to connect socially. Many immigrants struggle to build new relationships and they still miss the social life they had back home. The feeling of being alone, especially during the long winters, can make it very difficult to stay here in Canada. Canada's healthcare system is often praised for being free and accessible, but free doesn't always mean quick. Many new immigrants are surprised by the long waiting times for medical appointments. If you have a non-urgent issues, be prepared to wait for weeks or even months. The healthcare quality is good, but the public system can be overwhelmed, leading to significant delays. Specialist appointments are particularly hard to get, which can be frustrating if you have a medical condition that requires prompt attention. While emergency services are available, non-critical care can involve long waiting periods that tests your patience. It's important to understand that while healthcare system is technically free, these delays can have a real impact on your quality of life. Many immigrants opt for private insurance or walk-in clinics to get faster care, but it adds to their expenses. If you are used to quick healthcare services in your home country, the waiting time can be a major adjustment. Another factor to consider is inflation. Over the past few years, Canada has seen a rise of inflation, which has increased the cost of almost everything. Groceries, housing, transportation, renting an apartment in any city is incredibly expensive, and buying a house is out of reach for many immigrants. Inflation has made daily life more costly, which affects both your budget and the quality of life. Even the essentials like groceries have become much more expensive, with the cost of fresh produce and meat rising sharply. This means even basic living can feel like a financial struggle, especially if you are earning minimum wage or still establishing yourself. It's not just about affording rent, it's about every aspect of daily life becoming pricier over time. Many people have moved to Canada 10 or 20 years ago speaks highly of the opportunities and the quality of life they had back then. But Canada in 2025 is not going to be the same. With rising immigration numbers, increased competition for jobs, and higher cost of living, it's not the same easy ride as it used to be once. However, this doesn't mean that people are not successful here. Many immigrants do thrive. The key is being prepared for all the challenges and have realistic expectations. There are still opportunities, but the environment is definitely much more competitive now. You need to be ready to put an extra effort and hustle, especially in the crowded job market. People who came a decade ago had lower prices, more stable jobs, and less competition. So comparing your situation to someone who came years before may not be fair or realistic. So who should move to Canada? If you are someone with in-demand skills like in tech, healthcare, skilled trades, you have a slightly better chance of landing a good job and settling in comfortably. Canada needs skilled workers, and if your occupation is in demand, then you will have an easier path. If you are a student looking for a good international education and ready to work hard to gain experience, Canada can also be a good choice. Just be prepared for a lot of hard work and some challenges along the way. Being realistic and aligning your career path with what Canada needs make it all the differences. However, if you are expecting a perfect life from day one with a high-paying job and an easy transition, you might need to rethink. The reality is, for most immigrants, the initial years are tough, involving sacrifices and adjustments. The first few years can involve lower living standards and even survival jobs until you finally settled in. Before making a decision, there are several points to consider. Number one is occupation. Is your profession in demand in Canada? Research the job market in your field. Check where the opportunities are and what provinces or cities would suit you the best. Number two is finances. Do you have enough savings to sustain yourself for initial months? Remember, it can take time to find a proper job. 3 months, 6 months, who knows how long. Number 3 is expectations versus reality. Are you prepared for the possibility of working in the lower level job? Many immigrants start from scratch even with the significant experiences from their back home country. I had 5 years of experience before moving to Canada. Still, I started with an entry level job with a base level salary. I also worked at a call center for about 2 months on a minimum wage, so be prepared for all these kind of situations. Number 4 is weather. Canada's weather can be long and harsh. Are you ready to handle the extreme cold and limited daytime in winter months? Also, the winters are quite depressing. If you are stuck at home or living in the basement or have no one to talk to, this is one of the major factors why people leave Canada in just few years. Number 5 is social support. Do you have friends or family in Canada? A support network can make a huge difference, especially when you are new. When I moved here, I had a couple of great friends who provided really great support during my initial days. So you definitely need that kind of support who also motivates you in Canada to do well. Number 6 is your goal and aspirations. Why are you moving? Is it for better career or better education, the quality of life? The reason might be different for each individual, so make sure that your goal aligns with what Canada can offer you. Are you moving for your family's future or for a specific career goal? These motivations will shape your approach and how you navigate the challenges here in Canada. Well, it's not all the bad news. There are plenty of success stories too. Many immigrants do make it big in Canada, but it's usually because they planned well, worked hard, and adjusted their expectations. The key is resilience and willingness to adapt. You can also find success if you are strategic, building a network, and taking advantages of the opportunities Canada does offer. Networking is very important here, and making connections in your field can open doors. Joining local communities, attending networking events, and staying updated with the industry's trend can significantly boost your chances. You need to be proactive about finding opportunities rather than waiting for them to come to you. Upskilling and getting additional certifications recognized in Canada can also play a significant role. The path may not be straightforward, but with dedication, immigrants can achieve their goals and build a fulfilling life here. So, should you move to Canada in 2025? The answer really depends on your situation, your goals, and your mindset. Moving to Canada can be worth it, but it's important to know that it's not going to be an easy path. There will be challenges and you will have to prepare for a lot of ups and downs. If you have a solid plan, realistic expectations, and determinations to face all the challenges, then yes, Canada can be a great place for you. However, if you are looking for a quick and easy route to a better life, you might be disappointed. The journey can be rewarding, but it also requires patience, perseverance, and adaptability. Ultimately, the decision to move should be based on careful consideration of all these factors. I hope this video has given you a clear and honest picture of what life in Canada could be like in 2025. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel Canada Dreamers for more insights on living and working in Canada. Also share your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think that moving to Canada in 2025 is a good idea? What are the biggest concerns or questions? I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.